Welcome to week 7 of Barcelona Marathon training. I didn't film last week's training, but it was a 10-minute threshold and then 10 times 30 seconds uphill, hard effort, and then obviously recovery jog back down. Another 10 minutes threshold after that. Session went quite well, felt quite good in that one. And then moved on to the long run, which was a massive session and a very, very different experience to the last long run you saw in week 5. The last video when I did the long run, when I watched the video back, I didn't really show how bad the run went because I didn't really film the last part. But yeah, that run went really bad actually. I felt really weak, my paces were dropping, and yeah, it just felt like I was hitting the wall in a training session. I felt a bit sick, even though I'd practiced the breakfast so many times. I'm having rice pudding. Strange one with the stomach, maybe it was just an off day, but the Sunday that's just gone, bigger long run with more pacing in it. So it was a 32k run with 4 times 5 kilometers with a bit of pace work in it, and this run went so much better than the last one. Nice it was to feel and finish that run and sort of erase the long run of the last one that you saw in the video. The fueling that I took the Cis Beta Fuel gels, which I was trying out. I do like the gels that are 40 grams of carbs rather than having like more packets and less carbs. I like to take the big 40s now. So I've took those and they were really good. I felt they were really good, not too runny, not too thick, and not even that sweet. I mean, they're sweet, but there wasn't the sharpness there, which I was quite happy with. So I'm going with them. I tried a Precision Fuel. It was a caffeine one, and I took that as my last gel, the last part of the run. Although the caffeine did really well, I think it really helped, and I felt it kick in, and I felt really like focused, and the perceived effort was good. Near the end of the run, I was flying. I just didn't like the texture of the Precision Fuel. I thought it was really thick, very gooey. It reminded me of like taking caramel or something, or toothpaste. It was that thick. I've bought some new gels, Cis Beta Fuel, and I've got the orange flavour, which I tried on the long run, and then I bought some neutral flavoured ones, so that's interesting because if it's a neutral flavour, it's probably less sweet. I'm going to try that. And then I've got a caffeinated one to replace the Precision Fuel at the end to see me through to the last part of the long run. So I'm going to try that this week on the long run. Same breakfast again, I'm doing all that. I'm doing a carb load, that's another difference. I was listening to a podcast during the week from Sweat Elite talking about him doing a mini carb load for every single hard session, so especially the long run. So yeah, I've done it in the past, and it's just difficult to keep doing it every week because you forget and plan what you're taking and get the right ingredients and things. And I did it on the weekend just gone, and it made such a massive difference. Like even the recovery after the run, I woke up Monday, my legs were absolutely fine. Mini carb loads for your long run sessions, especially if it's a hard session with pacing in, it makes such a difference. I did 4 times 5 km, and the last 5 km I was flying. A big confidence booster, and I'm also looking forward to this week's, just make sure it wasn't a fluke, it wasn't a one-off. I'm gonna do everything the same, the breakfast, the carb load. I've got the Cis Beta Fuels, I'm looking forward to that. But I've got a session now, I'm gonna go do a session. It's Wednesday, session day. I'm also gonna try using the Adidas Pro 4s again, because I realised I used them in the last video and I didn't actually tell you guys how it felt. So I'm going to do another session in it to give me a better idea actually. So I'll see you in a little bit. Just had a bit of a warm up. I'm going to start the session now. It's bloody cold. I'm going to get this 20-minute tempo run done, have a little bit of an easy run, and get into the 5 times 3 minutes. 3 minutes easy, and then another 20 minutes. So it's a big session. See how this goes. Adidas Pro 4's on now. Feel very, very good. We'll see how it goes on. Tempo run, probably aim to around 4:10 minute kilometre pace. We'll see how it goes. Alright, just catch you in a bit. felt too hard. That I don't think I hit the paces that I thought I was going to hit. Yeah, that felt really hard. Couldn't get into it. Just getting ready for the 5 times 3 minutes now. I don't know why, my legs just felt like lead and I'm breathing a bit heavy, so yeah, strange. We'll start the 5 times 3 now, see how that goes. And then I've got to do that tempo run bloody again. Alright, this is where I do it. Right, I better get going now. See you in a bit. Oh, that's 3 out of 5 done. 2 more. I'm finding these quite easy, which is the weird thing. I feel like I'm warmed up now. Maybe I'm not warming up properly, because that tempo run, running that 20 minutes, felt so hard. But I know I'm going to do this part of the session pretty well. I'm almost having to slow down on each rep, because I'm trying to do 5k pace. But sometimes I'm going quicker, so I'm trying to slow down a bit. I'll see you after the last 2 have finished. Alright, see you in a bit. Just done the 5 times 3 minutes. I was absolutely smashing that bit. Felt quite easy. Got 1:40 left, and then I'm going to start the tempo bit, which fingers crossed will go better than the first bit now that I've warmed up. But so strange. Yeah, running, absolutely mind-boggling sometimes. But we'll see how this second 20 minute goes. See if it was that I just needed to warm up. Had to keep slowing my reps down. I hope my 5k pace is faster than I think it is. We'll know next time I do park run. I better get ready, see you in a bit. Just finished the tempo section, the last bit. Just jogging home easy now. It was better than the first half, but still a lot tougher than I wanted it to feel. But done it. Tough session. Took me a while to get going. You can ruin your session if you don't get warmed up properly. And I was sort of catching my breath constantly in the first bit. But yeah, it's done now. Good afternoon, it's Saturday the 15th of February. Miserable day today, I'm glad I'm not running. Just want to talk about the Adidas Pro 4s, because this is something that I've been asked a lot of questions of, comments, DMs and all that sort of stuff. You might have seen I've used it twice in 2 sessions now on Strava, and a lot of people want to know what it's like. Very, very comfortable. Does not need to be broken in whatsoever. Unlike the Pro 3s, do get very, very good the more you use the Pro 3s. The upper is super slick, super smooth, super comfortable, and now you can get that lockdown within like seconds rather than the Pro 3 that the lacing. You know, I even have to change the laces in the Pro 3s, and the upper, it's just all a bit cumbersome. The tongue's not gusseted at all, so it folds in on itself because it's so thin. With these, you can just get it done so quickly. And the upper itself, the material, it's probably the best I've ever had. The tongue's gusseted, just stays in its place, and yeah, I'm not going to change the laces in these because the lockdown feel and the pressure and everything and just how it is just loads better. So yeah, that's a great thing about them. And yeah, it's so different as a shoe now to Pro 3 and Pro 2. I think these are more a racing / training shoe, whereas this for me now goes in the category of race day shoe / leading up to race day key session shoe, because I just think now, because it's so sleek, so nimble, so light and so fragile, because the foam is very springy, it's soft, it collapses in, it's very unstable, it's got that real super shoe feeling now, you know, where you don't necessarily get it from the 2 and 3. So it feels like a proper race day super shoe now, and I just don't think it's going to have that durability. It's not going to have that long-lasting shoe that you can use in training, because sometimes obviously I'm running on the road, but then I'm going to some urban areas, then I'm going to some traily areas, then I'm going to, you know, all different terrains. You're training, the route's not always smooth, tarmac, you know, there's gravelly, so I wouldn't want to take this shoe on some of the routes I go on. I think I'd be scared of the upper ripping because it feels like it could be nimble and just a little bit too delicate, you know, scuffing it on a curb, getting like a branch piercing straight through it. Rocks and gravel might even tear some of the foam because it's that squashy. So it's completely different to the Pro 2s and the 3s. These are like tanks, they're like workhorses. The upper's solid. I have had a very, very, very old pair have a hole in the upper, but it was such an old pair that it gave me so much life, and I'd taken it through the ringer. But yeah, going on light trails and gravels and taking it in urban areas, scuffing it on like maybe a wall or a curb or anything, I never worry about anything damaging the Pro 3. It's just such a workhorse, and that's why I think for training, eating the miles, different environments, Pro 3 hands down much more suited to a training shoe, whereas this, yeah, key session day, race day shoe. So really this is actually, I've done 2 runs in it. I'm not going to do a long run in it because I just don't think it's going to last that long. So I want to keep all that for marathon day, because I will run Barcelona in this. I do want to feel what it's like in a marathon. Put this in the cupboard. It's going to come out maybe on race week, and yeah, it'll be a different type of shoe now for me, and I won't train in these, which is a little bit sad because it does mean the Pro 3, which I really love training in and racing in. It does mean that these are going to eventually vanish and be gone forever. Is it a better shoe? No, it's just a different shoe. You could now consider wearing this or like the Takumi Sen. Before, I'd just instantly go for Takumi Sen if I was doing a fast efforts or a fast race, you know, 5k, 10k. Now I'd be like, well, I could wear this as well. With the Pro 3s, I'm not running a 5k hard in that or doing fast reps in this. Cruiser, steady runs, tempo runs, or best at marathon effort for me, these. I'm gonna put a little table on screen to hope it helps you to show you the differences from what I think. My size is UK 7 and sometimes I go to 6.5, which you can see in the Pro 3, 6.5 was actually perfect. It was a bit roomy in 7. UK 7, my size in this, it's a little bit snug, I have to admit. Probably better off going a half size up. I hope that table helps you a little bit. So yeah, it's not a review, but I hope it helped anyway. So it's Saturday, like I said, and it's going to be a big long run tomorrow. That means I'm carb loading today, because last week's long run went amazing and I did a carb load for it. Very similar to last Saturday. Came down for breakfast at around 7:15. I just had toast, 1 slice of peanut butter and jam, and 1 slice with honey, and half a banana, and green tea with honey, depending on the bread and things that you have. But roughly what I had is around 95 grams of carbohydrates. And then snack at 10 a.m. I just had something simple, rice crackers times 2 with honey and some apple juice, and that's about 62 grams of carbohydrates. So I keep it quite simple on carb loading days with the meals, and I normally just have it exactly the same for lunch and dinner. So I'll cook it in one go, and then I'll just heat it up later for the dinner. But for lunch, it's basmati white rice with turkey mince, you know, just stir fry it with some ingredients. I got a bit of spinach in there and some cucumber, I think, and some peas, and just a little bit of salt and pepper and soy sauce, I think it was. So yeah, just stir fry that, and then I have that with rice. I mix it in, and it's just really simple, digests really well with me, and with some apple juice. And then afternoon snack, which I've not had yet. So let's just say I have the same snack I had earlier, so another 62 grams. And then dinner, I'll have the exact same meal again, but I'll have some dessert with that. I'm gonna have some fruit cocktail or half peaches or something like that in syrup with a tiny bit of fat-free Greek yogurt. That's pretty much the carb load for Saturday, really. And then in the morning I've got rice pudding and a banana, I think, and some honey in some tea. So yeah, that's about it for now. I'll see you later. Okay, It's Saturday morning. It's one of them days when you get up and the weather is awful. It's been snowing, sleet, bit of rain now. It's not that heavy now. It's starting to die off. So I've driven out to Chesterfield, and I'm going to run the Tapton Lock, go on the Transpennine all the way up to Rother Valley and back. Training's the hard bit, the marathon's the easy bit, as they say. This is an example. It's one of them ones. The only problem with the rain, I'm not too fussed about rain and stuff. It would be nice if it wasn't, but the main problem on this route, it means there's going to be parts where it's really like waterlogged and a lot of mud. This is the fuel that I'm taking in that order. Got an orange, a neutral flavour which I'm trying today, and a caffeine one near the end of the run. Take them at about 35 minutes in. Yeah, so 3 of them. I've already taken one about 10-15 minutes ago, and I'm going to get ready to go now. The weather's actually calming down. The rain's pretty much drizzle. You probably can't even see it, but it's pretty much gone now, which I hope it stays off. So yeah, I'm just going to keep this long sleeve on. We should be alright. Well, I'm going to get going. See you in a bit. 7.5k. The path to get to where I am now has been awful. I rolled my ankle a few times. Feet are wet. So when I get to 8k, I'm going to start doing my first set. Today it's going to be 3 sets of 7, depending on what the route is like. I'm not sure what the paces are going to be. Navigate through some pools and mud baths, but I'll do what I can. Just taking a sis Peterfield now. Right, I'll catch you after the first set. See you in a bit. 15.7k in, just on the 1k float. Did the first 7k set. Very, very difficult. A lot of that was really, really muddy, really thick mud, sliding all over the place. I can really feel the tension in my muscles because I'm using my stay. They're always engaged, trying to not slip over. I'm just going around Rother Valley at the moment. I'm going to have to turn back soon and go through it again for the second set. Catch up in a bit. Heart rate is sky high, but it went bonkers earlier, so I'm just ignoring it. Second set done. Got about 300 metres left of the float. We'll see how this last set goes. That last set was pretty hard. Going on the Transpennine again. Super muddy. Just taking the last gel. The Sis Beta caffeine one. Right, I better get ready. See you in a bit. That's it. 31k hit on the last 1k float. I got through it. Very muddy again, like an obstacle course at parts. I'm jumping, I'm hurdling, I'm dodging, but I'm glad it's over now. So when the pacing was on path like this, not muddy, it felt loads easier. But when it's on mud and you just every single step you sort of engaging your muscles all the way. Now I'm starting to pick up a little bit just to see the run off. Last 2k. 300 metres to go to 34k. Heart rate reckons I'm dying. 196 heart rate, even though it feels very quite casual. And I'm running at 4:29 pace. I'd definitely be able to see out a marathon with this pace. Even though the heart rate thinks I'm dying. But 34k done. Yeah, it was an okay run. Not as good as last week. Couldn't switch off mentally. I got a little bit more used to it. It also, because there's a lot of bikers and runners as well, it sort of made a path, compact the mud down a little bit, so coming back a little bit better, but still obstacle coursey. But then the last set, not much mud, but pools of water, but I just went straight through them or jumped them and things, so I could get actually a bit of pace on the way back. Got a bit tired a little bit towards the end, but again, I think it was more to do with the first 2 sets just running through mud. It's so different. You're not really running properly, especially for a road runner like me. If you do cross country or trail, you'll probably be fine. You know, I was flying at the end when I got onto the path like this, absolutely flying. So it'd be interesting to see my splits. Took 400ml of water. I've not quite finished it, nearly. Wasn't that thirsty. When it's cold, I don't really get that thirsty, to be honest. So done. Stretch down, get back home, have a warm shower. Oh my god, I've got to get in the car with all this. This is mad. Oh dear. I'm gonna have to wash the shoes, aren't I? I hardly ever wash my shoes, but I think I'm gonna have to. Oh Jesus Christ.